Are you ready? 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 Are you ready? Let's go!
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's live at 5. It is me. I am here. It's Dave, and lots of stuff to go over. Oh, what a week it's been in the past 24 hours. I was just actually looking up on my phone Bloodsport results because I wanted to talk about it. But how's everybody doing? We're ready for WrestleMania weekend, and it's just me today. No, Eric. Eric is on assignment, known as vacation. So that's awesome. Eric's enjoying himself, and it's just me here. So thanks for joining me on your holiday weekend. If you are celebrating, or if you're off, or if you're, you know, home with the kids, whatever the case may be. Sorry, I'm just trying to type in Josh Barnett Bloodsport while I am pulling this up. Okay, cool. So, how we doing today? There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of announcements the past 24 hours. So, yeah, let's talk about it. First off, just a little housekeeping. So, of course, you can follow us on all the social medias at AIC_podcast. That would be right here on YouTube or right here on Instagram, depending on where you're watching. You could also follow us on Threads, on X. I think we're on Blue Sky too at AIC_podcast and TikTok. I am not familiar with those. I'll be completely honest with you. Those are not my general social medias. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got I got the picks are in from Eric. I've got my picks. Got a whole bunch of announcements, all crammed into the next less than an hour, hopefully. First thing I want to talk about though is our episode that's coming out on Monday. We talked to Brian Volk-Weiss about RoboForce, the animated series, about Star Trek Series 2 from Nacelle. So definitely check that out on Monday. So what I think we're going to do is I'm just going to go right to some announcements here. So let's go to this. And that is some images, some figures. Now we're going to start off with Major Brand. Major Pod live in Las Vegas happened, and a couple things were announced. So we're going to talk about Major Bendy's first. So the first Major Bendy is a new Danhausen, new mold. So there's a new Danhausen coming. Looks awesome. Very nice, very evil. Then we had Makihausen, that one-time tag team with Danhausen and Maki Ito. That's an awesome Bendy, brand new Bendy. But last but not least, that's not the only two Hausens that were announced. As you know, Danielle Fishel, big wrestling fan. So we have Danielle Hausen, the third Hausen of the series. So that was cool. Danielle Fishel, I'm sure you saw on the social medias, was painted, was wearing, actually, for whatever reason, she was cursed, and her face had just a little bit of red makeup under the eyes, but a very nice, very evil face for Topanga Hausen, but Danielle Hausen because of copyright, I'm sure. But very cool. Actually, very nice, very evil, to be completely honest. All right, so that is the first set of announcements that happened at Major Pod Las Vegas. But there was another one coming to Big Rubber Guys. Is the opponent for Joey Janela at Joey Janela's Spring Break this weekend, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, extreme original Sabu. So very cool to see Sabu coming to Big Rubber Guys. It's going to be a really cool figure. They've done great work with Major Bendies, Major Stars, and Big Rubber Guys over at the Major brand. Shouts to Matt, Brian, and Kanik. But they didn't just announce figures for their own brands. And these two are super awesome, and I'm very excited not only to get them, but for both people involved. So shout out to friend of the pod, Smart Mark Sterling. He's getting an AEW figure. Shouts to Dan Friedman, designer for the AEW line for Jazzwares. This is really cool. Very awesome for Mark. Very deserving of a figure. He's been doing awesome work on AEW and Ring of Honor with the premier athletes. And it's really cool to see that Mark's getting a figure. I'm going to order two if I can to get one signed. But I'm definitely excited to add Mark to the collection. I could put him with my Tony Nese main event figure from a few years back, which coincidentally also announced WrestleMania weekend back when Mania was last here in New Jersey at Major Podcast. And last but certainly not least from the Major Pod, from Major Pod Live in Las Vegas, Chelsea Green Ultimate. Awesome. Hopefully it's, U.S. champion Chelsea. That would rule. Don't know much about it because whatever happens at Major Pod stays at Major Pod. But we've got Chelsea Ultimate. It's awesome. It's exciting. And one of many Ultimates that were announced. We'll go with were. Keep it grammatically correct here on the show. So yeah, Chelsea was announced, and that's going to be awesome. That's an Ultimate that I am very much looking forward to. So now we'll kick it over to Zombie Sailor, who had a little, these were teased by Matt and Brian, I believe, but if you take a look at that table, there's a non-bloody Ric Flair variant and a Gladiator Mike Awesome variant that are for sale first from the looks of things at WrestleCon. So very cool to see that just kind of appear, and hopefully that's online sooner rather than later. I'm sure we'll hear more from Zombie in the future. Getting to Mattel, and I just went to Mattel Creations for this one. Went up today for pre-order. Like you see there, ships on or before Halloween of this coming year. 2 Ultimates, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. Brandy getting her second figure ever. Her first Mattel figure. This is from the entrance for WrestleMania 40 last year, finishing the story. So we have everybody gets an entrance jacket. It's more kind of fashioned towards the second Cody Ultimate with the molded entrance jacket as opposed to the soft goods entrance jacket. But we've got the mask here as well. So really cool. Very cool. You've got that cool, like them sharing a kiss head, extra heads, extra hands, 4 interchangeable heads. So really cool. Up next, we're just going through photos from the Instagram account. So we're just going to kind of hit stuff as we can here. Um, so Red Rooster re-release, which is really cool. That was a Target exclusive back, a long time ago. I think right around that same WrestleMania 35 time. I believe that was on shelves. So this is like a greatest hits wave, but like kind of a reimagined greatest hits wave. We have Brutus the Barber Beefcake with a very Hasbro-esque head, which I think is awesome. Legacy Cody, Virgil, and Dusty Rhodes. Virgil in a red tux. Dusty, can't really see what's going on there, but it looks like he's got, can't tell if, it's like a teal elbow pad. I don't know if that's going to be just like a straight up greatest hits like repackage or not. Then we have the current Legend series that went up for pre-order today at Target. Big Evil Undertaker, Terry Funk with the Chase. The blue is the standard, the red is the variant. Both figures really cool. Love that era of that 80s era of Terry Funk. We have the Great Muta, kind of more of a, I'll say more modern Muta. And Billy Gunn from the Smoking Guns. Now, they also showed off that Michelle McCool when LayCool were the WWE Women's Champion with the split belt. So hopefully that means we'll get a Layla down the road. That would be cool. I don't know where Layla stands as far as a Legends contract goes. Do not know. Then we saw the upcoming Survivor Series wave. We have Bret Hart in the kind of shorter singlet, or more proper singlet, I guess. A 1-2-3 Kid. Cody Rhodes, which was more representative of with the camouflage face from the event poster from Survivor Series, and JD McDonough, which is honestly, I think the banger in the series. Like, what a good figure this JD is. And of course, you can build a Nick Aldis, which is really cool. Aldis hasn't had a figure since like OG Cella as a retro, but I don't know if I don't remember when the last Magnus was. I don't. Sorry. Up next, we have the recently up for pre-order from the Vault series, the Ringside exclusive. If you're going to order those, you can pre-order. Just remember to use code AIC to save yourself 10%. All right. So we have Cactus Jack, which I think is maybe the best Foley figure of all time. One I'm definitely looking forward to. One that has become quite the expensive figure to acquire. So I'm excited that we get another shot at it. We've got NWO Black and White Scott Hall. We have Kevin Nash with the spray painted NWO title, which for the WCW title, which I think. Actually, I'm totally wrong, so I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say, is that kind of a redo of the original Nash Chase, but I don't think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then RVD, which is like the comeback RVD figure when he first came back for Money in the Bank. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So that's really cool. Then we have some defining moments. So we've got defining moments 4-pack also up for pre-order at Ringside Collectibles. We have Kurt Angle with the shaved head, like when he got his head shaved. So with the shaving cream, with the wig, the medals, the headgear. So that's really cool. It looks like he's got clippers that come with him. WrestleMania 13 Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're getting a bloody Mattel action figure. So there is a Stone Cold head with blood on it, which is wild. Awesome to see. I mean, when you think of Stone Cold, one of the first things you think of is WrestleMania 13. So really awesome that we're getting that. It comes with the Blood from a Stone t-shirt as well. We have ECW One Night Stand Paul Heyman, good old Paul E. So that's an awesome figure. I was trying to figure out, like, where can I get a duster from to give the legends from last year a kind of make him an ECW Paulie, but we've got One Night Stand Paulie, so that's really cool. He's got the lanyard, the headphones and microphone from backstage, so all that good stuff. And then we have Logan Paul's first title win, the U.S. title, Logan Paul. So those are all ringside exclusives. Once again, code AIC, save 10%. Now we just kind of have a random, I'll say, assortment of figures as we move forward. I don't know the series of all of these. There were so many things that were kind of revealed or shown or thrown at us yesterday that I'm not quite sure what series these are, but yeah, we'll go with it. So we've got a first time in the line Lola Vice with a second head. So that's going to be an Elite. We have Elite Cody Rhodes in a suit and a Chase variant. An upcoming LA Knight figure. An upcoming Liv Morgan figure from when she won the world title during the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. We have what I thought at the time was the best Dom figure that we were going to get, Dominic Mysterio. My opinion changed later, and we'll see why. Then we've got some upcoming Ultimates, the next couple Coliseum collections. So we've got the Ultimate Warrior, of course, modeled after that LJN Ultimate Warrior, and which I think they absolutely crushed. Honky Tonk Man, modeled after the LJN as well. Comes with like a shattered guitar piece with like, so you can hit somebody over the head with it. But and Eric pointed this out too, and I think it's also great, is the I'll say like post-match or mid-match Honky Tonk head, which kind of very much reminds me of the whole scene where he went to hit Randy Savage with the guitar. So really cool there. We have an ECW champion CM Punk Ultimate coming soon. We also have which I think is another awesome figure. I think they absolutely nailed this. Randy Orton Evolution Intercontinental Champion figure. We have Phantom Undertaker, so our first Ultimate black and purple Undertaker with the Phantom mask, which looks like we've got a removable Phantom mask and one that's molded, which I think is awesome. I love that there's a molded head. We have the DX Shawn Michaels Ultimate, which just went up for pre-order today. Which you can check our check AIC_podcast. We have all our links there. So check out the link for that to send you to Target for that pre-order. The Shawn that goes with the Triple H that came out a while ago. And you can technically put that Vault Hornswoggle with them. So that's cool. We have Wyatt 6 Elites, which there were renders of shown later on at the panel. But all the Wyatt 6, and an Ultimate Bray, which is really cool. I love that you could do the Exorcist pose with Bray there. Some more just random Elites. We have Obafemi. We have Carmelo Hayes. An Austin Theory that has an awesome head sculpt, and I'm excited to see what it looks like kind of more once it's released. But we've got a chance that we've got the best Theory coming with his new kind of goatee beard situation. A new Gunther, which that sculpt looks awesome as well. And then Alba Fire. So first time in the line, Alba Fire. Looking forward to the aftermarket Secret Hervis soft goods that people will be able to give us for that. We have a Legend series that is the Curtain Call. Now, I don't know if this is a box set, if it's an exclusive. It was labeled online as Legends. I don't have any further information for that. But But I think like the big highlight here is getting the Connecticut Blue Blood Triple H, because it's been a while since that Network Spotlight figure was out, and we are long overdue for a Connecticut Blue Blood Triple H figure here. But you can also get all four of them, recreate the iconic moment at the Garden from the steel cage match where somebody snuck their video camera in and is just like losing their mind when this moment happens. We have a Hall of Champions 4-pack, which also went up for pre-order today at Target. Once again, AIC_podcast on your social medias to get all of our pre-order links. This is a cool pack. You get Bruno Sammartino with a older WWF Championship belt. Looks like also a new head sculpt on Bruno with shorter hair, which is really cool. Very much looking forward. I'm looking forward to this box for that Bruno figure, to be completely honest. But my close second in here is this Ultimate Warrior, because it's that, the Ultimate Warrior you think of from like the video game, from WrestleFest, or from, your first Hasbro Ultimate Warrior in the neon green and the orange and pink and white boots. So like, it's going to be cool to have that Ultimate Warrior here. We've got Spinner Belt John Cena. So Chain Gang Soldier John Cena here. And then we have Roman. Roman with the Ulafala and the current title. Whole bunch of new Monday Night War stuff coming. Brian Pillman from the Hart Foundation, which is really cool. It comes with a crutch. The Shark, which we haven't had a Shark for a while. That was if I remember correctly, that was a Comic-Con figure, San Diego Comic-Con. The chase for the Shark, though, is even crazier to me. It is John Tenta when he shaved half his head and half his face. Wild. Then we have the Judgment Day Undertaker. So that's cool as well. That was a SummerSlam one from... But that's also like Judgment Day, comeback, missed time cue, Undertaker, if you remember correctly. I think that was Judgment Day. Looks like we got a cool soft good jacket on there. So good to see kind of an upgrade to that figure. Michael Cole, Attitude Era Michael Cole is your Build-A-Figure. We also have Make a Difference Fatu. We have The Rock. We have G.I. Bro. And then Build-A-Figure Ray Trailer. NWO Ray Trailer. I believe he was the Build-A-Figure. I think that's what they said at the panel later on. And we have a picture of the slide too, I think, in here. Superstars still going strong. George the Animal Steel, Stone Cold, Nikolai Volkov. RVD, which... I love the exaggerated versions of the superstars, but I feel like they also crush the likenesses on these. And like, to me, that RVD with the smirk, like, that's perfect. The Steiner brothers, looks like we've got some tag team titles there as well. And the Hurricane. Here's Braun Breaker with the Intercontinental title. So I'm guessing this is first reign before Jay won the title and they changed the belt to add the blue. You'll see why later. We have Ethan Page, All Ego Ethan Page, first time in the line. I think they absolutely crushed this likeness. It's just not the likeness you're used to with Ethan Page. You're used to Ethan Page with having a very exaggerated expression, whether it's the smile, the grin, or like open mouth, kind of like shocked face Ethan Page. But I still think this is a very it looks good. I think this figure looks great. It just may not be the likeness that everybody wants, which I totally get. But that said, I think it looks awesome. There's Dom again. There's Michelle McCool again. We have a Cena 3-pack coming. I believe it's going to be a Walmart from what I was seeing, but it's like an evolution of Cena. So we have Cena when he first was doing the rap gimmick, like when he had B squared with him. Then we have which I think is the first time for Mattel, the US spinner title, which is awesome. And then we have a more modern Cena from a few years back. Some more Ultimates coming. Next Monday Night War Ultimates are Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner and Kurt Angle. And that's Eurocontinental Champion Kurt Angle. They showed that off both belts later on at the panel. He got both medals. So really awesome figure there. Some main events coming. Lots of main events. Tiffany, another Roman, Trick Williams, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk. That's like WrestleMania 29 era CM Punk. That's at least when that shirt debuted. But I think like the main event figure of the year here, Wendy Chu. You have pre-injury Wendy Chu, like babyface Wendy Chu, and then you have heel Wendy Chu with the knee brace and everything. I think both are like must gets. They look amazing. There's a lot of detail, a lot of deco in not only her gear and her hair, but also like her boots with the high socks and like the slipper kind of look. I think this figure is, I mean, it's going to be a tough one to find, I feel, because a lot of those first time in the line main event ones are. But, I mean, potential main event figure of the year here. Couple more just early protos. Kalani Jordan, Tongaloa in the suit. Jade Cargill, Kairi Sane, Dragon Lee. A couple Ultimates, which I am very excited about. We have Ultimate CM Punk in the Heart Foundation style gear. But one of my big wants from WrestleMania last year, which was Bayley. When she came out in the Egyptian themed gear. Awesome figure. I'm very excited for this. Potential Ultimate of the year here for sure for Bayley. We have a Monday Night War Eric Bischoff with gray hair from when he came back to WCW. Now we're getting into stuff from the panel. So this is going to be a defining moment, ringside exclusive, first time in the line Penta figure. And Penta has, I think, one of the cooler details or bits of technology in a Mattel figure, which is changeable mouth plates. So cool. So Penta, very expressive. You're going to get to be able to change his expression with, instead of just a whole bunch of heads, just a whole bunch of mouth plates. So very cool. Really something that could change things up for Mattel here. Another defining moment here, we've got Jey Uso from when Jey won the Intercontinental title from Braun Breaker. So you see it's the new Intercontinental title. Pointing at it with the blue highlights. It's got some Geet foam hands, so that's really cool. We've got Dark Match CM Punk from when CM Punk wrestled the Road Warriors back forever ago. So really cool. This is definitely way before him getting signed, and you can see the lack of tattoos, the red hair, all that good stuff. So we're like kind of still ROH CM Punk here. The basketball shorts. Here's Make a Difference Fatu. Just another look at it. Another look at the render here. Looks awesome. That Monday Night War Rock. There's a Great Khali figure coming. I'm not sure what line this is a part of. This is just a reveal. But if you missed out on the Build-A-Figure Kali, there's a world heavyweight champion Kali coming. And then, just when you think it couldn't get any better, they just recently got signed back to a Legends deal, and here we go. Demolition Smash with entrance gear, with removable entrance gear. They also have the pointing fingers, which is great. Or Smash does, because he always did that like pointing kind of taunt. Demolition Axe and Mr. Fuji. Awesome. And of course, you get the Mr. Fuji face painted extra head for every now and again when he would come out with Demolition, he would have the face paint. I believe he also carried the face paint as well when managing the Powers of Pain afterwards. When they feuded, it was a long time ago. I was a little kid and I was diehard Demolition. So that now you really want that Barbarian. Can we get, oh, that would be awesome if we get Barbarian signed. And like we talked about before, Bryan Adams is signed, so the family of Bryan Adams is signed, so I'm gathering Crush is around the corner. He's got to be, right? And then Wolfpack, Lex Luger. Cool. There were also a couple more figures announced. We have the first ever Elite Lyra Valkyria. We have Julia and an Ultimate Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany is going to come with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Here's renders of the Wyatt Six, which the renders look great. Potential Ultimate, like, not only just Ultimate figure, but like, again, we're raising the bar here with Dom. Ultimate Dom, Dominic Mysterio. Look at all that deco for the tattoos, man. That mustache, the face. It's awesome. I am very much looking forward to this one. Build-A-Figure Ray Trailer, NWO Ray Trailer, like we talked about before. Another G.I. Bro render. The end of WCW was rough. Here's an Ultimate Umaga that's coming. Looks awesome. Great render. Ultimate Eddie Guerrero. We're talking like Ruthless Aggression era with the cowbell. So we're getting an Ultimate Eddie. You know who he wrestled in that match. So hopefully there's a JBL coming soon to go with him. This was also something that was shown yesterday and is already up for pre-order on Ringside Collectibles. It is a Cody Rhodes Finish the Story 2-pack. You get Cody, you get Pharaoh, you get a big old American flag to represent that Finish the Story t-shirt. You can complete the wrestling version of the Rhodes family with this 2-pack. You have Brandy, you have Cody, you have Pharaoh, all televised, all Rhodes who were at WrestleMania last year on TV. There you go. So before we talk about WrestleMania, I'm gonna come back here real quick. There we go. I'm back. Again, thanks for sticking with us. There's not just WWE going on, although it is WrestleMania weekend. If you get a chance, Bloodsport was last night. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It was a very WWE heavy show, but it was an awesome show. One of my favorite. That and Joey Janela's Spring Break are like my two must watches every year from the collective. So Bloodsport was awesome. Like, you're basically matches you're in and out in 20 minutes or less each match. Most of them like 12 minutes or less. It's got that UWFI kind of feel to it, where it's that worked shoot. Early Pancrase even. It was just a great show. It was really cool. I definitely recommend it. But now we're going to finish things off this afternoon, this early evening, to get you kicked off for your WrestleMania weekend with some picks. And Eric on vacation texted me his picks. I have my own picks here that I made for WrestleMania for this weekend. We're going to start with Saturday. We're just going to go right into it. We know that Gunther versus Jey Uso is opening the show. There you can see Eric and I both think that main event Jey Uso is coming out of this with the World Heavyweight Championship. And to be completely honest, I have no idea what, like, and you'll see, like, there's maybe 2 opportunities for somebody to win or lose this. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? No chewing. Just getting ready for Mania. Talking about all the announcements that happened this weekend, or that happened like yesterday. I didn't see anything new up today yet, so keep an eye out on Instagram if there's anything new that comes up, and Eric and I see it covered by everyone else. Of which, shouts to Ringside Collectibles, of course, for getting those photos up. Also, My Damn Toys, great source for some photos as well on Instagram. But yeah, first match of the show, Saturday night's kicking off with Gunther and Jey Uso, and we both think that Jay's picking up the win. And yes, that's a picture of me from a soccer game and Eric from Comic-Con. I just real quick found 2 small pictures of us. First pictures I found. So Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, Chad Gable. Sure, why not? We both think Rey Mysterio's coming out on top here. It would be hella sad if Jay loses. I really hope Jay wins. I do. I think it would be a good culmination for not only his career, but the year so far. I mean, he's super popular. There's no reason to not give him a shot at it, right? LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Eric and I both think that there will be a new United States champion. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. I mean, give Jacob Fatu all the TV time and all the titles. That will. I've been super on board with Jacob Fatu since like MLW. So yeah, I mean, the guy's just magnetic. Like both of these guys are definitely very charismatic. LA Knight is. Jacob Fatu is. This is going to be a fun match, I think. And potential show stealer right here. Eric and I also think there are going to be new tag team champions for the Raw brand. Of course, the War Raiders versus the New Day. New attitude from the New Day and a new title reign for the New Day, we both think. If he loses, they got to drop the main event moniker. I feel like he's got to like kind of. If he loses, then they've got to do like almost like a Jey Uso like finds himself or reinvents himself, like goes and kind of finds himself again. Which, I mean, we kind of already were there when that happened with Roman, so or against Roman. Jade versus Naomi. A battle of revenge for Jade being out for a while, getting dumped on the hood of a car and beat up pretty bad. Eric and I both think Jade is going to win this match. I just don't know. I don't know if they're going to do anything with Bianca yet. I just don't see this happening here, especially since Bianca has the triple threat match to worry about. But I definitely think there's some like unfinished business there, right? Storyline wise. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. We are both picking Tiffany. We think Tiffy time will continue. I hope so. I really do. Charlotte Flair is super talented. I mean, Charlotte's great. Tiffany's great, but let's keep it on Tiffy. Let's see what happens, right? Like, you're never gonna know. And then in the main event of WrestleMania Saturday, triple threat match for the admiration of Paul Heyman, for it's not Paulie on a pole. I know that. That's like, 2000 WCW there, 99 to WCW. But yeah, we've got Seth freaking Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. We both think Seth is going to win. I'm gathering Eric also thinks there's going to be some heel turn there from Seth. He sure as heck has been teasing it, which means maybe not. No Chewing asks, what's my thought on non-title matches? I feel like Jade and Naomi should have been a slot for women's US or IC title. Yeah, it's tough because every year they try to put everybody on WrestleMania, get everybody in there. I mean, who's more popular than Chelsea right now in the division? Maybe Rhea, maybe Io or Bianca, but Jade. And the thing with WrestleMania is it's also like the place where the year ends. It's like the end of the year stuff, so it's meant to have a blow off like Jade and Naomi. I have no issue with it being there. But yeah, we could, it's always the tough question of would you rather have more stuff or more stuff take less time or less stuff take more time. Last year seemed to nail it. So we'll see. I don't think it certainly doesn't feel less than to me of them not being there. I think it just shines a light on stars that don't have titles. A deserved light on stars that don't have titles, because Jade and Naomi are stars. We go to Sunday. And then this is where we're first split. Saturday, Eric and I are aligned here completely. Sunday is where we're split. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul's going to win. That doesn't mean I want Logan Paul to win, but at some point Logan Paul's got to win a feud, right? Like I feel like he's lost everyone he's been a part of. And if we're starting to get on the AJ retirement tour, I feel like that's where things start. We time to yeah, I don't love it, but I think Logan's going to win. Eric thinks AJ is going to win. The Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match. We have Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dom Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. Eric thinks Penta is going to win. I think it's Dom's time. I think it's time to have Dom be like that old school, like, chicken heel where he's going to kind of find underhanded ways to consistently escape with the title. Not to mention Dom's just super entertaining. That said, everybody here in this match is great. This is another potential show stealer for me. Penta winning the title would be awesome. Finn winning the title would be awesome. Braun keeping the title would be awesome. Dom winning the title would be awesome. But I think we got Dom here. I think it's his time. Eric voting for Penta. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Lyra looking to become a double champ here. Be Intercontinental Women's Champion and Women's Tag Team Champion. She teams with Bailey to go up against Liv and Raquel. We both think Liv and Raquel are going to retain. My thought process is somebody's turning. Whether it's Bailey or Lyra, somebody's turning on the other one, or there's going to be like that miscommunication that leads to the heel turn of somebody. I hope not Bailey, because I've enjoyed Bailey's like babyface turn over the past year. I know she's far superior as a heel, but it's, still has some shelf life on it. This face run. Randy Orton's doing something. We're probably going to find out in a couple hours on SmackDown, but we figured we'd guess. So Eric thinks Randy Orton will be losing to Uncle Howdy. I think Randy Orton will get to learn that WrestleMania is once again Rusev Day. And lose to the returning Rusev. We'll find out. We'll find out tonight. He might be wrestling Nick Aldis. We don't know. If he's wrestling Aldis, that'll be cool. It'll be cool just to see Aldis get a WrestleMania match. But yeah, I think it's going to be somebody. I don't know if Uncle Howdy's healthy yet. That's the problem. But we'll see. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. A lot of similar syllables, a lot of alliteration there. Sin City street fight. Say that 3 times fast. Eric and I both think Drew's going to win. Yeah, Drew's did do the win from Priest cashing in. So I think Drew's got this one. The Women's World Championship triple threat match will be very interesting if Bianca is involved in the Jade and Naomi match. I hope they hold off. I think Io retains because they've been playing up the Io as the third wheel, even though she's been the champion a lot, to the point where I think she has a pretty not decisive, like dominant victory, but I think she wins without like any sort of weirdness or trickery, or like, she's not going to win with a roll up, right? Eric thinks Rhea is going to become champion again. I just think if we're, I don't know. I'd like to see Io hang on to it for a while. Last but certainly not least, the main event. Does the story continue? It does not, we both think. Eric and I both think that the last time is now for John Cena to be the undisputed WWE champion. Why turn him heel if he's not going to roll on and win the title? I mean, I think it just makes sense. John Cena is going to win. And then, which is good for us here in the Northeast, because SummerSlam, the next big premium live event, is here in New Jersey. So, hopefully that means we get a really cool John Cena main event at SummerSlam in New Jersey. I think it's going to be Punk. I don't know, though. I'm generally pretty wrong with this stuff. So if you see all my picks, assume somebody else is going to win. Well, that is going to wrap things up for today. Enjoy the weekend. Have a happy Easter if you celebrate. Enjoy WrestleMania if you celebrate. Enjoy The Collective and all the other indie shows, whether you're watching them streaming or if you're in Las Vegas. If you're in Las Vegas and you're watching this, thank you. But go to a show. There's a ton of good stuff happening there this weekend. I gotta go. I ordered Stardom, so I gotta watch that at some point. But yeah, and there's DDT and GCW are putting on a show together. There's just like a single DDT show. Progress was yesterday. To Tokyo Joshi was, I forget if that was yesterday or today. I think that's today. Joey Janela's Spring Break, Bloodsport was yesterday. For the Culture 4 is tonight. Whole bunch of stuff. The Cluster F is, keeping it PG, kids. Is tomorrow night at midnight, LA or West Coast time. So it's gonna be at 3 a.m. here. I think I'll watch that Sunday morning. And just have a great wrestling weekend. We'll be back, like I said, on Monday. Brian Volkweiss is the guest, so get ready to hear about some cool news with RoboForce and with Star Trek. And then we'll be back next Friday for another really fun themed show that we will tell you about then. But I'll give you a hint. A band Eric and I like have a new album coming out. So, should be good. All right, bye everybody. Take care. Have a good rest of the weekend.